Kill your negative thinking. Now that's a bold statement. But let me tell you something. Your mind is fertile ground. Whatever you plant grows. You plant seeds of doubt, fear, and worry. Guess what? They grow. You plant seeds of faith, belief, and courage. They grow too. The mind doesn't care what you plant. It doesn't say, no, I won't grow that. It just goes to work. That's the power and the danger. Negative thinking is a slow poison. You don't feel it right away, but it's there dripping every day until one day you wake up and you're no longer who you were meant to be. You're bitter. You're tired. You're angry, not because of the world, but because of what you've been telling yourself. Let me ask you something. Have you ever said these words in your head? I'm not good enough. What if I fail? It's too late for me. People like me never succeed. That's negative thinking. And the problem is it becomes a habit, a way of life, a mindset. And that mindset becomes your prison. But here's the good news. Just like you built it, you can tear it down. You don't need a hammer. You don't need a bulldozer. You just need awareness, discipline, and a decision. Kill your negative thinking before it kills your dream. Kill it before it kills your confidence. Kill it before it becomes the only voice you listen to. Because here's what I learned. You can't live a positive life with a negative mind. And if you want to change your life, you start by changing your thoughts. So in this session, we're going to go deep. We'll talk about why negative thinking controls so many good people, how to replace doubt with discipline, how to build a new story that serves you, not strangles you, and how to feed your mind daily with ideas that push you forward. My friend, I've been there. I've heard that little voice that whispers, you can't. But I learned to whisper back, watch me. And I want to teach you how. Don't let your mind be a dumping ground for fear. Fill it with faith and let it bloom. Let's begin. If you don't like where you are, change it. You're not a tree. That's what I told myself the day I realized something important. The greatest enemy I had ever faced was living inside my own head. It wasn't the government. It wasn't my boss. It wasn't the economy. It was me. My thoughts, my thinking, my inner voice. You see, negative thinking doesn't shout. It whispers. It whispers in the quiet moments, in the early morning when the alarm goes off, in the late night when the doubts creep in. And here's what I learned. Your life moves in the direction of your most dominant thoughts. I used to say, well, I just have bad luck. Things never work out for me. I guess I'm just not cut out for success. I didn't realize that what I was doing was reinforcing a personal philosophy, a destructive one. Don't be casual with your thoughts, I say. Why? Because thoughts become beliefs, and beliefs drive actions, and actions create results. If you believe you're not good enough, you won't take the chance. You won't speak up. You won't try again. That voice inside will stop you before the world even has a chance. You know where that voice comes from? Sometimes it's childhood. Sometimes it's failure. Sometimes it's the people around you who didn't believe in themselves, so they made sure you didn't believe in yourself either. But here's the good news. Just because you've accepted a lie doesn't mean you have to keep living it. Yes, that voice might sound familiar. It might sound like an old teacher, a critical parent, or even your own past self. But you have the power to change it. You have the power to choose a new voice. Now, the first step is awareness. You can't fix what you don't notice. Start listening. Be quiet for a moment and listen. What do you say to yourself when no one's watching? When you fail? When you look in the mirror? When you're about to take a risk? Here's a question. Would you talk to someone you love the way you talk to yourself? If not, it's time to change. You can't just erase a thought, but you can replace it. Don't say, I'm a failure. Say, I'm learning. Don't say, I'm not good enough. Say, I'm improving every day. Don't say, it's too late. Say, it's never too late to become better. That's how transformation begins, with new seeds of truth. As I've always said, you cannot change your destination overnight, but you can change your direction. And the direction starts with a single thought. So here's the challenge. For the next 24 hours, I want you to catch every negative thought that enters your mind. Don't fight it. Just catch it. Then ask, is this helping me or hurting me? And then replace it. You'll be amazed how quickly your energy changes, how your confidence grows, how your results begin to shift. Because when you change the conversation in your head, you change the story of your life. It's not what happens that determines the quality of your life. It's what you do about what happens. And that begins right here. With what you think, with what you believe, with what you say to yourself when no one else is listening. You can't hire someone else to do your push-ups for you. And you can't ask someone else to reprogram your mind either. Negative thinking is like weeds in a garden. You don't have to plant them. They just show up. If you don't deliberately pull them out, they'll take over everything. You see, your mind is a garden. Your thoughts are the seeds. You get to choose what you plant: flowers or weeds, courage or fear, belief or doubt. Now here's what I've learned. You cannot live a positive life with a negative mind. The two don't match. You must learn the art of replacing negative thoughts with ones that empower you, thoughts that lift you, inspire you, and move you forward. And the good news is, you can reprogram your mind. You've got to become aware of your thoughts. Stand guard at the door of your mind. Don't let just anything in. The world is full of garbage criticism, complaints, comparison, doubt. And if you're not careful, you'll start believing every one of those lies. So ask yourself, who's been renting space in your head without paying rent? Kick them out. Negative beliefs? Cancel the lease. Limiting ideas? Evict them. This takes intention. It takes practice. And it takes a decision. I'm no longer going to be a slave to my negative programming. Here's something I want you to write down. Every thought is a suggestion, not a command. Just because you think it doesn't mean it's true. Thought says, you're not good enough. You reply, who says? Based on what? Thought whispers, you'll fail again. You answer, not this time, I've grown. This is the beginning of a shift, a powerful shift. From automatic reactions to deliberate thought, you start telling your mind what to think, instead of letting it run wild like an untrained dog. Remember, your mind can't produce better output unless it gets better input. It's the law of cause and effect. You put garbage in, you get garbage out. You put inspiration in, you get motivation out. You put belief in, you get action out. So how do you feed your mind? Books, audio programs, conversations, affirmations, goals written down. Miss a meal if you have to, but don't miss your reading. Because what you read shapes what you believe, and what you believe shapes how you behave. Now this part is crucial. If you want to kill negative thinking, you must replace it, not just with empty hope, but with affirmations of identity. Say it aloud. I am becoming stronger every day. I am worthy of success. I am learning, growing, and improving. This isn't magic. It's mindset. It's the act of telling yourself something new, over and over again, until your old thoughts have no place left to live. Because here's the truth. You can't just stop thinking negatively. You have to start thinking positively on purpose. You must overwrite the old programming with something better. Just like a computer. If the software isn't serving you anymore, it's time to install a better version. Let me tell you, environment matters. Who you listen to, who you talk to, what you allow around you. If you're always around people who think small, talk small, and expect small, soon your mind starts shrinking to fit their mold. But if you hang around thinkers, readers, doers, people with ambition and belief, you start rising to meet their standard. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So if you want to reprogram your mind, start with your circle. Find people who speak life, not death. Vision, not fear. Action, not excuses. Because your mind becomes what it's most consistently exposed to. So let's wrap it up here. You can reprogram your mind. You can let go of the negative and embrace the empowering. But you've got to be intentional. You've got to watch your thoughts, challenge your beliefs, feed your mind, affirm your greatness, and elevate your circle. Work harder on yourself than you do on your job. Because if you fix your thinking, you'll fix your life. And remember this, my friend. The battle is not out there. It's in here. And when you win it here, everything else begins to change. Now listen closely, my friend. Negativity doesn't show up with fireworks. It creeps in, silently, quietly, almost politely. It begins with a whisper, "You're not good enough." And if you let that whisper grow, it becomes your inner voice. And that voice, if left unchecked, becomes your identity. Stand guard at the door of your mind. You see, we all have two choices. We can feed the weeds, or we can plant the seeds. Weeds of doubt, fear, worry, and complaints, those will grow on their own. You don't need to water them. But if you don't actively pull them out, they'll choke the life out of your dreams. And that, my friend, is how negative thinking kills you. It kills your potential before it even starts to grow. Let me be blunt. If you don't kill your negative thoughts, they will kill your confidence, your goals, your relationships, your peace of mind. You've got to stop negotiating with negativity. You got to put it on trial. Ask yourself, is this thought serving me or is it sabotaging me? Because whatever you tolerate, you reinforce. Don't say, if I could, I would. Say, if I will, I can. That shift, that small shift in language, from if I could to if I will, that's the battle plan for killing off negative thoughts. Here's how to start. 1. Interrupt the pattern. When you catch yourself saying, "I'll never make it," stop. Breathe. Interrupt it with truth. "I've survived harder. I'm still standing." Every time you disrupt the automatic loop, you weaken the grip of that thought. 2. Declare war on victim thinking. Victim thinking sounds like this. Why does this always happen to me? Number. Stop that. Change the question. Ask instead, what can I learn from this? What can I do next? Because questions direct focus, and focus controls your future. 3. Feed your mind like you feed your body. If you ate junk food every day, your body would break down. Well, negativity is junk food for the mind. It makes your spirit sluggish. Your energy drops. And before you know it, you start believing less in yourself. Miss a meal if you have to, but don't miss your reading. Every day, feed your mind something powerful. Read, listen, grow. Because what goes in comes out. You can't produce power with poison in your mind. And finally, 4, surround yourself with growth. Your environment matters. If you're around complainers, guess what? You'll become one. If you're around dreamers, goal setters, builders, you'll think differently. You'll dream bigger. You'll speak victory instead of defeat. Remember, negativity is contagious, but so is hope. Choose who and what you're allowing into your mental space. Because if you don't, you'll end up with a beautifully planned future, poisoned by a careless present. So kill it, friend. Kill the negative thinking now, before it becomes the invisible assassin of your future, before it kills your energy, your faith, your action, your momentum. Be fierce with your thoughts. Be disciplined with your mind, because the most dangerous place to be is in war with yourself. If you don't change what you're thinking, you'll never change what you're doing. And if you don't change what you're doing, you'll end up with a life you didn't want. And no one wants that. The time to think better is now. The time to rise above the voice of defeat is now. You can do it, because the battle is inside. And once you win there, you'll win everywhere else. Don't start the day until you have it finished on paper. That's what I always said. Now why? Because if you don't run your day will run you. And when your day runs you, it's often fear that's driving the wheel. And what does fear do? It feeds negative thinking. But here's the good news. You don't have to live like that. You don't have to be a prisoner of that voice in your head that says you can't, or it won't work, or you're not good enough. You can quiet that voice. You can train your mind. You can kill your negative thinking. Not once, but every single day. How? You build daily rituals. Not routines, not habits, but rituals. Sacred things you do with purpose, with intention, with discipline. Because remember, discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. It's also the bridge between negativity and peace of mind. Let's walk through a few daily rituals that'll help you slay the dragon of negative thinking before it even opens its mouth. 1. Start the day in silence. Before you grab your phone, before you scroll social media, before you invite the world into your mind, pause, take 10 minutes of silence. You can pray, you can meditate, you can reflect. Just sit. Be still. Because in the stillness, you remember who you are. Not what the world says you are. Not what your doubts whisper. You remember your strength, your purpose, your value. In silence, you become the master of your mind. Instead of letting your mind master you. 2. Write 3 things you're grateful for. Every morning. Don't skip this. Write down 3 things big or small that you're grateful for. Why? Because gratitude kills negativity on contact. You can't be deeply grateful and deeply negative at the same time. Try it. Try to say, life is terrible, and I'm grateful for my health in the same breath. They don't mix. Gratitude reframes your perspective. And as I often said, learn to be thankful for what you already have while you pursue all that you want. That's the mindset of a winner. That's the mindset that pushes negativity out the door before it even comes in. 3. Speak positive truths out loud. Yes, out loud. Because your mind believes what it hears, especially when it hears it from you. Every day, I want you to speak at least 5 powerful truths. Say them with certainty, with confidence, with conviction. Say things like, I am capable. I'm getting stronger every day. I do not entertain negative thoughts. I am focused on growth, not fear. I am becoming the best version of myself. These are not just words. These are weapons. They're like shields against the arrows of doubt and fear. You don't wait for positivity to show up. You create it. You speak it. You live it. 4. Move your body daily. Negativity grows in a stagnant body. Move. Every day. Even if it's just a walk. Even if it's 10 minutes. You say, Jim, what does exercise have to do with mindset? Everything. When the body feels strong, the mind follows. You start to feel momentum, confidence, energy. And energy kills negativity. You don't need a gym. You don't need fancy gear. You just need to show up for yourself. 5. Guard your environment like your life depends on it, because it does. Who do you listen to? Who do you spend time with? What do you feed your mind? This matters. You can do all the gratitude exercises, all the affirmations, all the meditation. But if you surround yourself with negativity, it'll eventually sneak back in. You've got to protect your mind like it's the most valuable asset you own, because it is. So, do a daily audit. Did I spend time around people who lift me up or drag me down? Did I consume content that inspired me or drained me? Did I speak kindly to myself or let criticism run wild? Awareness is the first step to change. My friend, here's the truth. Killing negative thinking isn't a one-time act. It's a daily commitment. It's a decision you make every morning. I will not allow fear, doubt, or past failures to define me today. You make that choice. And then you back it up with daily rituals. Little things, done consistently, with intention. Because success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day. And peace of mind, joy, confidence, they come the same way. So tomorrow morning, don't just wake up and go through the motions. Wake up with purpose. Silence the noise. Be grateful. Move your body. Speak life. Choose your company. And watch how your life transforms. One ritual at a time. Let's talk about rebuilding. Not just fixing, not just covering things up, but rebuilding. You see, when negative thinking has had a home in your mind for too long, you don't just evict it, you replace it. And not with silence, but with strength, with discipline, with belief, and yes, with a brand new mindset. Now let's reflect. What's your default? Is it doubt? Is it fear? Is it I can't? Or is it faith, strength, discipline? The beautiful thing about the human mind, it's moldable. It's not stuck. It can be trained, rewired, redirected. Step 1, decide that positivity is the new standard. You have to draw the line. You've got to say, from this moment forward, I no longer allow myself to indulge in defeat. Not in thought, not in speech, not in attitude. It's not about being blindly optimistic number. That's not what I'm saying. It's about choosing strength over self-pity, courage over excuses, gratitude over grumbling. If you keep telling yourself, I'm not good enough, that's not being realistic. That's programming. And the good news is you can change the program. Because here's what I learned. The mind doesn't argue with the mouth. What you say long enough, loud enough, you start to believe. So if you say, I'm capable, long enough, guess what? You'll begin to feel it. You'll begin to walk differently, talk differently, decide differently. Change the script. Change the outcome. Step 2, flood your mind with better input. Your environment matters. What you read, what you listen to, who you spend time with. These things aren't neutral. They're shaping your inner world. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Now let's add to that. You are also the average of the 5 thoughts you entertain the most. So what are you watching? What are you repeating? What do you hear all day in your inner dialogue? Here's a challenge. Start your day not with worry, not with the news, not with yesterday's regret, but with hope, with direction, with a decision. Flood your mind with powerful words, positive mentors, strong examples. Be selective, because what gets in gets planted, and what gets planted grows. Step 3, make positive thinking a system, not a mood. This part is key. If you want positive thinking to be your default, it has to become a system. You don't just hope to feel good. You design your day to think right. That's where habits come in. Daily structure, repetition, and consistency. Have a system for when the negative voice shows up. Example, when self-doubt creeps in, you counter it. Out loud. Number, I've got this. When fear whispers, you write down your action steps and take the first one. When regret visits, you reflect, learn, and move forward. Don't leave your mindset to chance. Build a structure that supports it. Because here's the truth. You either run your mind or your mind runs you. Step 4, celebrate the change, make it stick. As you rebuild, you must also recognize how far you've come. Every time you catch yourself replacing a negative thought with a positive one, celebrate it. Every time you hold your tongue when you were going to complain, celebrate it. Every time you journal instead of spiral, celebrate it. You're not who you used to be. You're becoming someone better. And that is something to be proud of. A positive mindset isn't pretending everything is perfect. It's understanding that you have the power to respond differently. And over time, positivity isn't just something you practice. It becomes something you are. That's when you know you've rebuilt. You've reclaimed your mind. And now your default is possibility. You've moved from I can't to how can I? From why me to watch me. From negative to powerful. Discipline is the foundation upon which all success is built. Lack of discipline inevitably leads to failure. Let your discipline lead your mind. Let your gratitude guide your thoughts. Let your purpose direct your day. Because you are now the architect of your mindset. And that changes everything. So my friend, as you step away from this moment, remember this truth. You hold the key to your own mind. Negative thoughts have no home. unless you invite them in. You have the power to choose, to rebuild, to rise. Start today, not tomorrow, not next week, right now, because the life you want begins in the mind you build. Don't wish it were easier. Wish you were better. Keep working on yourself and watch how your world changes. Thank you for listening.